Hi guys, it's Ray here from City Fan TV. Hope you're all well today. It's FA Cup final day today, guys, and sadly, Man City won't be there to defend our title. We got knocked out in the semi-final against Arsenal, but we had a good run. I mean, we won it last season and got to the semi-final this season. And I thought for the occasion, I'd get out my old Man City commemorative FA Cup top. And this shirt was made in commemoration of the FA Cup final back in 2011. And obviously, City won it. There's no point commemorating it if you lost. And I thought to myself, where are the guys now? Where are those players right now? Yeah. So this video is about the City team from that 2011 Cup final. All the players, the three subs that came on, the manager, and asking, where are they now? Where are those players now? And sadly, we've only got one of those players left. That's David Silva, and he's leaving at the end of the season. So I thought it's a good tribute to those guys. It's 9 years ago. It's actually quite interesting when I go through some of the details of the players who played that day about their ages. We had a pretty young team, pretty young squad back in those days. You know, I'm going to run off the names quickly first so you know who I'm going to talk about, and then I'm going to go through some of the details. So we've got Joe Hart, Micah Richards, Vincent Kompany, Aleksandar Kolarov, Joleon Lescott, Nigel de Jong, Gareth Barry, Yaya Touré, David Silva, Mario Balotelli, Carlos Tevez, who was captain. And the three, well, I'll go through all the subs and I'll tell you who came on. The three subs that came on were Pablo Zabaleta, Adam Johnson, and Patrick Viera. The subs that were not used were Shay Given, Dedryck Boyata, Edin Dzeko, and James Milner. And I'm not going to go through all the stuff on the players that didn't come on the pitch. I mean, we know Edin Dzeko went off to Roma. Dedryck Boyata, I think, went off to Celtic. Jimmy Milner went off to Liverpool. And to be honest, was it Shay Given went off to Villa? Can't remember where Shay Given went. So anyway, I've done them. I'm going to focus today on the players that played in that game and obviously the guys who came on a sub, even if it was only for 2 minutes, to tell you where they are. We're going to start with Joe Hart. Now, Joe Hart is only still 33 years old. He played at City for 10 years from 2006 to 2016. And then when Pep came, we all know that Joe Hart wasn't really what Pep wanted. And Pep got Claudio Bravo in. He said the word on the street was Joe couldn't play with his feet and Joe didn't want to fight for his place. So Joe ended up going on loan to Torino. Then he went on loan to West Ham. And in the last couple of years, he's been at Burnley, and I don't think they're renewing his contract. So he's had a bit of a slide, a bit of a fall from those heady days back in 2016. You know, I think he was still England's number one then. He's not even in the England scene now. He can't get in to the Burnley side ahead of Nick Pope. I mean, basically, Joe Hart's career, I don't know where it's going. But look on the bright side, you know, he was a goalie for that FA Cup final win. And he's won plenty of honours at City. He won 2 Premier Leagues. He won an FA Cup and 2 League Cups, as well as 4 Golden Gloves whilst at City. So Joe Hart, cracking keeper. And he's somebody that City fans that go a long way back, you know, we still hold him in very high regard. He's been one of the best City keepers in my lifetime. Absolutely fantastic. Next, we've got Micah Richards. Now, Micah Richards is still only 32 years old. Still only 32 years old. He spent 10 years at City, 2005 to 2015. A year of that was on loan at Fiorentina. And basically, his problem was his injuries. I mean, I think Roberto Mancini called him Cristalli Richards because his legs were made of glass. And that was Mike Richards' problem. You remember he burst onto the scene. And yes, he burst onto the scene against Villa with a goal. Was he 17 years old in the FA Cup to get City a draw and get us a replay? And he burst onto the England scene as well. He was an absolutely fantastic player. And yes, it's an absolute shame about his injuries. Now, after the 10 years at City and the season on loan at Fiorentina, he ended up being sold to Aston Villa. He was there from 2015 to 2019. So was it 4 years? He only played 26 games for Villa. He'd only played 10 games for Fiorentina in that season on loan. 26 games in, was it 4 seasons? 3 or 4 seasons at Villa. And apparently he was desperate to play, desperate to get fit, but he just kept breaking down. He won some pots at City. You know, even though he didn't figure much in, I think, one of the seasons, I think he only played about 3 games in the league. I still put him down as 2 Premier League title winners, an FA Cup. And although he probably didn't play in that League Cup, he was still there when we won that League Cup in, I think, Pellegrini's. Was it Pellegrini's final season? No, his first season, sorry. So anyway, so he still had lots of pots at City. Now he's a pundit, and he's one of the best, most funny, lovable pundits out there. So he's carried on, that lovable guy, that big laugh, big hearty laugh that we'd seen at City when he was growing up as a kid. And he's carried that through to his punditry, and he's cemented himself in a very short space of time as one of the nation's favourite pundits. Next, we've got Joleon Lescott. Now, Joleon is still only 37 years old. Some players are still playing a pretty decent standard at 37, but Joleon, he spent 5 years at City. You might remember the acrimonious transfer to City from Everton. David Moyes probably still whinging about that. He spent a season at West Brom, and then he, like Micah Richards, he went to Villa. He was at Villa for a season, and then he's finished off his career, played about 6 games at AEK Athens and Sunderland. I think 3 or 4 games at Sunderland, and that's pretty much the end of Joleon Lescott's career. I think now you see him doing some punditry. You see him as an, would you call it, an ambassador for City? You see him on City TV, the Manchester City official TV channel, not this channel. This is City Fan TV. So yeah, another stalwart in our defence. Moving on to probably one of the biggest names in the last 10 years at City, and that's Vincent Kompany. Still only 34 years old. He was at City from 2008 to 2019 before moving off to Anderlecht, where he started off as player manager. I think he dropped the manager tag, might be player coach, but still a player, still an important player. He had a really tough start at Anderlecht. He managed to turn it round, and hopefully he'll go again next season. I think he signed a 3-year contract there. So good luck to Vincent. He won an absolute ton of trophies at City. 4 Premier League titles, 2 FA Cups, 4 League Cups. That's 10 trophies at City. An absolute rock at the back. He was a great leader off and on the pitch. Absolutely fantastic, Vincent Kompany. Next, we've got Aleksandar Kolarov, 34 years old he is now, only 34. Rocket of the left foot. Now, he played at City for 7 years, 2010 to 2017, and he's been, the last 3 seasons, he's been doing really well at Roma in Serie A. Now, once again, another player who won a bag of trophies at City. He's got 2 Premier League titles, 1 FA Cup, and 2 League Cup winners. He's a fantastic servant for City. And as I said, he's doing pretty well at Roma. Moving on, Nigel de Jong, who's still only 35 years old. Now, he played at City for 3 seasons, 2009 to 2012. Before he went to AC Milan for 4 years. Then he had short stints at LA Galaxy and Galatasaray, Mainz 05 in Germany. And I think he's still playing in the Middle East, a couple of seasons, 2 or 3 seasons out in the Middle East. Still only 35 years old, and a big, big fan favourite. At City, Nigel de Jong won the Premier League title and 1 FA Cup. Next on the list is Gareth Barry. Now, Gareth is 39 years old. I think he was still playing for West Brom this season. He played 3 games for them. But still trying to ply his trade as a football professional. He had 5 seasons at City, 2009 to 2014. He went to Everton. Well, the last season at City, I think he was on loan at Everton. So basically, he was at Everton from 2013 to 2017. And from 2017 until today, he's been at West Brom. Very good defensive midfielder. It looked like he wasn't doing anything, but he was he was integral part of our midfield back in the day. Gareth Barry won 1 Premier League title and 1 FA Cup. Big player next, Yaya Touré. Now, Yaya is still only 37 years old, but I've got this feeling that his legs have gone. But he was at City for 8 years, 2010 to 2018. And some fans still say he's the best player City have ever had. Obviously, everybody's got different opinions. But he's one of the best, definitely one of the best. After 8 years at City, he went to Olympiacos. He went played a couple of games there. Went off to China. You might have seen him. You might have seen him recently training with Leyton Orient. People thought he was going to sign for them and play in League Two. I think Yaya's a little bit better than that. But Yaya, he was there at the start. He was one of the big players we got at the start. He got us that, was it the winner in the FA Cup semi-final against United and the winner in the final against Stoke. Big match player, goals at Wembley. If you remember his League Cup goals at Wembley, goal against Wembley against Sunderland. Won another one to win one of the finals, the final penalty. He won plenty of stuff at City, 3 Premier League titles, 1 FA Cup and 2 League Cups. Yaya Touré, I don't know what he's going to do, whether my feeling is he should retire and put his feet up. He's been playing football for over 20 years. But you never know, he might pop up somewhere else on the continent. Moving on, another midfielder, the last one of that FA Cup winning team, I think that's still at Manchester City, and that's David Silva. It's his final season. He's still only 34 years old. He's had the last 10 years, the last decade at Man City, winning trophies and wowing fans. So that's 2010 to 2020 at Man City. He's won an absolute shed load. Like Vinny, he's won even more than Vinny, I think. So I'm going to go through everything. And for David Silva, I'm going to include his Community Shields because he's won something every season, I think. 4 Premier League titles, 2 FA Cups, 5 League Cups, and 3 Community Shields. He's been a magician, a maestro. He's been absolutely fantastic. And for me, anyway, he's been my favourite player at City during my lifetime. I'm going to move on to someone who joined us as pretty much a kid. On his 20th birthday, he signed for City, and that's Mario Balotelli. Now, you might find this hard to believe that Mario is still only 29 years old. It's crazy. I thought he'd be in his mid-30s. He's played so much football for so many teams, and he's won so many trophies in what actually was a glittering career by the time he left City. Now, he played 3 years at City, 2010 to 2013, and then he had spells at Milan, Liverpool. He's been at Nice, Marseille, and I think he's just had a couple of seasons at Brescia. I don't think he's got a club at the moment. He's still only 29. I can't believe this. And if you look at what he won before he came to City, I mean, there's not many players I'm going to tell you what they won before they came to City. And he came to City, remember, on his 20th birthday. He already had 3 Serie A titles, 1 Coppa Italia, 1 Super Coppa Italia, the Champions League trophy, and 1 Golden Boy award, all by the age of 20. At City, he didn't do too bad. At City, he won a Premier League title. At City, he won the FA Cup. I remember that semi-final. It's one of the highlights of, for me anyway, of that FA Cup run in 2011. That semi-final after we'd beaten United and Mario's wink. Even though it was 9 years ago, over 9 years ago, it's one of the best moments I remember from Mario's career. There's been a few good moments from his career. Why always me? But that wink, Mario's wink, was absolutely fantastic. And I say again, I can't believe he's still only 29. He should still have bags of years ahead of him if he wants to carry on playing football. Moving on to the captain on the day, and that was Carlos Tevez. He's still only 36 years old. And for all, the ups and downs he had at City with Mancini, remember that infamous game against Bayern Munich when apparently he refused to play. Apparently afterwards there was some miscommunications. Whatever the situation was, when he played for City, he gave his all. He gave everything. Sometimes you hear stories that he flew back the day before a game or during the night, and he'd turn up and play the next day. Sometimes it was only 12 hours later, and he'd put in a phenomenal performance. Every time he went on that pitch, he delivered. He gave his everything. He left nothing in the locker. So Carlos Tevez, 36 years old. He had 4 years at City, 2009 to 2013. And then he's had spells with Juventus. He went to Boca Juniors, back in his home country of Argentina. And I think he started his career there. Then he went off to China for a little while, to Shanghai, made a few bob. And then I think he's still at Boca right now, 36 years old. At City, he won the two first trophies that we got since Sheikh Mansour bought the club. And that's the FA Cup in 2011 and the Premier League title in 2012. Now for the subs, we had Pablo Zabaleta, another City legend. I mean, there's quite a few legends in this list, and Pablo Zabaleta was another City legend. He's 35 years old now. He had 9 years at City, 2008, that's pre-takeover, to 2017. He was at City. And 2017 to 2020, he's been at West Ham and he's leaving West Ham this summer. I don't know if he's going to carry on playing football, whether he's going to go back to Argentina or Spain and carry on playing football there. I think we got him from Espanyol for about 5 or 6 million, I think 5 million quid back in 2008. And he's another one who won plenty of trophies at City. He's got 2 Premier League titles, 1 FA Cup and 2 League Cups in his trophy haul. Next, someone who came on the as sub, and that's Adam Johnson. I'm going to briefly run through him very quickly. He's 33 years old. He had only 3 seasons at City. I think 3 seasons at City, or even 2, 2010 to 2012. Then he had 4 seasons at Sunderland, and he's been in. He spent some time at Her Majesty's Pleasure in prison, and we don't really talk about him. He won the FA Cup with us in the Premier League. Moving on, the final player, final sub that day was Patrick Viera. Patrick Viera, City legend. He's 44 years old now. He played just 1 season at City. I think we wanted him for his experience, and his leadership qualities. 1 season at City. Now, and since then, he was with City in the City Football Group. He went to manage a sister club, New York City FC in New York, in the MLS, Major League Soccer. And then I think he's had a couple of seasons at Nice in France. And finally, I'm going to mention our manager on the day, 55-year-old Roberto Mancini. Now, when you look at some pictures of him, he certainly don't look 55 years old. He had 4 years at City, 2009 to 2013. He replaced Mark Hughes in that season, 2009, 2010. And he made everything happen for us. He got us into the Champions League. He got us that FA Cup FA Cup victory. He got us that first Premier League trophy back in 2012. Failed in the 2013 FA Cup against Wigan, and after that, we parted company with him. Since then, he's gone on to manage Galatasaray in Turkey, Inter Milan, Zenit St. Petersburg, and since 2018, he's been the Italian national team coach. At City, a couple of trophies, as I said, the important ones for us. Our first one in 34 years, 35 years, the FA Cup. And then the first league title in 44 years. That was a Premier League title. So I hope that's been an interesting look back it's only 9 years ago, but it's into our history. As I said, it's only 9 years ago. And a lot of these players, are still in their early to mid-30s and can still be playing football. They are. David Silva is still playing football at a very, very high level. So I hope you've enjoyed that, guys. And if you're new to the channel, if you haven't subscribed yet, what's stopping you? It's nice and easy. Just hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon so you're notified as soon as new videos come out. See you around, Blues.